What are you so afraid of? An essay by Akiko Busch. About the author. Born in 1953, she has published numerous books and articles about design, culture, and the natural world. She writes a regular blog and has appeared on radio shows, given lectures, and directed workshops. Busch lives in the Hudson Valley in New York and teaches at the School of Visual Arts. Background. About one half of American adults fear snakes. That's more than those who fear public speaking or any other category of phobia. Some scientists believe that ophidiophobia, the fear of snakes, is a legacy from the distant past, when our survival depended on avoiding them. Some believe that certain primate characteristics, such as sharp eyesight, are the result of being on the lookout for snakes. October 25th, 2014, a time of year when we celebrate and indulge in what frightens us, may be a good moment to consider how fear begins. It could be anything: a sound, a dog's bark or bite, some infant terror of being left alone, darkness, a taste, some memory, the unknown, the unseen, the known, the seen. Almost always its origins are unclear. My own fear of snakes might have started when I was 3, in the garden of Bangkok in the Klong, a rainwater ditch where I was playing. A highly venomous 6-foot banded crate glided alongside me. My mother, watching from a balcony above, was unable to reach me, but she called for my older brother, who picked me up and lifted me out of the trench. I remember nothing of this, but my mother told me the story. I wonder if my enduring panic half a century later at the rustle of even the smallest garter snake in the grass is based on some suppressed memory of the event, or on the story of the event. Or is it possibly some genetic inheritance of fear that's of centuries of humans that have had of the reptile world? Or is it some combination of all these? Fear, arriving in layers in which generic legacy converges with personal experience, is vital to our survival. When we freeze, stop in our tracks, or take flight, it is a biological response to what we sense as near and present danger all the time. It observes its own absurd hierarchy, in which we often harbor an abiding anxiety for the wrong things. A childhood accident causes a friend of mine to become white and shake at the sight of broken glass. But she's a chain smoker as well, and has little worry about her pack-a-day habit. And surely the recent alarm over Ebola virus among Americans who are not fully attentive to the need for flu shots suggests a reluctance to recognize genuine threats to public health. We have a clear directives about what is really worth our fear. Participants in the real parade of horrors include radical changes in the carbon cycle, the rate of species extinction, extreme weather, genetically modified food, institutional finance misconduct that puts our security at risk. The archive of real menaces threatening us now is full. It would seem we hardly know how to choose what to be scared of, except that we do choose, and when we choose, are generally the ordinary fears such as heights, public speaking, insects, reptiles. They are all things that have about as much chance of harming us as the characters behind some of this season's top trending scary costumes: zombies, werewolves, the cast members of Duck Dynasty. The biologist E.O. Wilson has observed that while we fear snakes, spiders, darkness, open spaces, and closed spaces, we do not fear the more likely instruments of danger: knives, guns, cars, electric sockets, because, he says, our species has not been exposed to these lethal agents long enough in an evolutionary time to have acquired the predisposing genes that ensure automatic avoidance. Which is to say, fear, real fear, deep fear, the kind that changes our habits and actions, is not something unto which we are likely to follow sensible instruction. At this time of year, when I venture into the basement of our old farmhouse, I find that it is, as always, a horror chamber of the first order: damp, dark, and musty, with dirt floors, vast cities of cobwebs and black alcoves. Yet it's not the decrepit furnace with its ravenous craving for fuel that causes me the moment of panic, nor the behemoth oil tank, nor even the insanity of the soaring cost to fill it, though I am loath to admit it. The lethal agents that set my heart racing are instead the sudden rustle of a glint set in my of a glint of pearly snakeskin that flashes in the ancient stone foundation wall behind the boiler. The more dire menaces are the particular moment to be black rat snake, milk snake, grass snake, garter snake, none of which are poisonous. Still, the question looms, how can I get out of here as fast as possible? The paths that human fear can take, and its often ridiculous and pointless detours, are surely worth considering now. At a moment of such social, political, and environmental urgency, I would like to think it is possible to tap into human fear to change behavior in some fundamental and strategic way. Yet what seems more likely to me is the possibility that fear is simply an unpredictable, rogue impulse that all too often remains indifferent to the genuine threats around us. And that may be the scariest of all.